Horizon Huskies with a perfect 9-0, ranked number 1 in 5A football in the state of Arizona. Travel to Deer Valley to take on the Skyhawks, who are 7-2 from Deer Valley High. Again, a pleasant welcome. Dave Eddy along with Keith Baker to bring you the play-by-play of tonight's game as these two teams go for the Desert Valley Region Championship. And even though the Huskies come in ranked number 1 in the state, there you see the standings. Overall, they are 9-0 to Deer Valley's 7-2. But as far as the Desert Valley region play is concerned, there you see it, 4-0. As the teams below them have fallen in their wake, Horizon and Deer Valley going at it here for the region championship. Last week it was Deer Valley, a big win over Kofa of Yuma, 41-7. Horizon continued their winning ways a week ago, defeating Shadow Mountain 27-10. The Hawks come in at 7-2, and the Huskies at 9-0. And Keith, on a cold night up here in the Deer Valley area, good crowd across the way, and of course here for the home team. And certainly the pairings for the 5A will be forthcoming following this football game. And you have the number 1 ranked Huskies, the number 9 ranked Skyhawks, so it should be a pretty good football game, a game we'll probably see go quickly with the ground attacks these two possess.
Well, very much so. You look at these two teams as they come in, the cream of the crop of the Desert Valley region, and coming into this ball game this evening, of course, Horizon 9-0, but Deer Valley, after 2 early season losses, has come back to make their record 7-2. They've won 6 consecutive, and in fact, over the last 2 weeks, they've outscored their opponents 58-7. They've had 4 shutouts that have gone their way, so it looks to be a good matchup because Horizon has the good running game, as you've mentioned. They come through with that big victory last week. In fact, a come-from-behind win. It looked like they were in trouble, trailing 7-6 at halftime last week against Shadow Mountain, but then they came back against the Matadors. It seemed to be a big play-type game last week that really broke it open for the Huskies, and they came away with what looked to be a comfortable win, but I think they would have liked to have dominated a little more than they did.
You mentioned big plays. It was John Clayton, their fine running back, junior running back, 73-yard gallop in the first half that got them their only points of that first half. It was a 6-0, in fact, a 7-6 football game at half with Shadow Mountain ahead. But Clayton has rushed for 1,167 yards in the 9 football games that they have won this year. Over on the other side of the football, Phil Hayward posting some numbers that for the junior class are going to be hard to beat. He is the 5A's leading rusher coming into tonight's game. 1,376 yards, 15 touchdowns on just 160 attempts in 1993. So should be an interesting football game as you get a chance to see one spectator who got in for nothing. I think he was headed for Las Vegas, but someone beat him to the ring as far as flying in.
Well, could it be an omen tonight? You got the Skyhawk looking over the Skyhawk Stadium here as Deer Valley looking to pull the upset and defeat the favored Horizon Huskies in this one here tonight.
There you see the Huskies and their 4 captains, and over on the near side of the field we'll pick up Deer Valley as well. Brandon Sear, their fine senior quarterback, wears number 1. You'll see him forthcoming out towards the midfield stripe, and we'll pick up our coin toss. He's a 6'2", 185-pound senior, and his job tonight will be getting the football in the hand of Phil Hayward. Hayward wears number 5, so that's the number to look out for here tonight. Clayton over on the other side of the football wears number 3. So we've got some low numbers on the jerseys, high numbers as far as the statistics go. We'll head you down to the field and our coin toss.
Introduce yourselves. You speak for white. All right, listen up, gentlemen, before I get started this evening. As the captains of your teams, I expect and demand that you control the behavior of your players at all times. The game should be played aggressive, and it should be played with good sportsmanship. I expect to see that during the evening. Blue talks to blue, and white talks to white. And if you have a problem with each other, you talk to me. Is that understood? Yes, sir. White, you'll make the call. There's the heads. There's the tails. Call it when it's in the air. If I catch it and drop it, we'll do it again. And when I catch it, I won't flip it over. Are you ready? Sir. What do you say? Tails. Tails it is. You have your choice this half. Defer, you want to defer? Hold on. White is 1. We'll defer. Deer Valley will receive. What goal will you defend? Put your back there. Deer Valley, put your back over here. Deer Valley will receive this half. Gentlemen, come in here. Play hard and have some fun. Good luck.
Horizon deferring to the second half. Deer Valley will receive the opening kickoff, much to the delight of the hometown fans, as the Deer Valley Skyhawks make their way to the playing field. And one thing to note, even on a very cool night here in Deer Valley High School turf, the flag to the south end, at least at this point, remains limp, and hopefully we can avoid some wet and check off our officials as well. Hank Mancini is our referee, Lynn Porter, Alan Montoya, Ken Wolf, and Harold Foote.
Well, we may get a little indication of what the teams are expecting here on this cool evening, and that Horizon actually winning the toss but choosing to defer to the second half. That may indicate that the coaches believe it could be a defensive struggle here this evening. Possibly a low-scoring affair, but you never know what you may see. Both of these teams have big play capability.
Anything that can be broken into the secondary, and with the backs, the likes of John Clayton and Phil Hayward, they could get some big yards, but then again, big yards don't always translate into points. So we're just about set to go as you get a chance to see the sideline. That's the Horizon Huskies. They come into this football game ranked #1 in 5A football. And they are excited about this one here tonight as they come in with their road white uniforms with the green pants and yellow trim. And there you get a shot of the sidelines for the Deer Valley Skyhawks in their navy blue with the silver numerals and the silver pants. Set up to receive tonight, Chris Laramie is one of the deep backs. He wears number 7, a 5'10", 180-pound senior. And back with him to receive is Jacob Bell. Bell wears number 82. Set to move on the football, Brett Globke wears number 14, senior. Certainly saw how the kicking game featured in the outcome of last week's game as Glendale defeated Independence 17-14. Matt Belden field goal, the difference in that one. Here Globke will move on the football and will be set to go here as the Deer Valley Skyhawks will operate from right to left across your television screen from out of the south end zone.
Well, we've had rain during the day, but the field looks to be in good condition, so that should not be a factor in tonight's contest.
Horizon and Deer Valley in this championship game for the Desert Valley region as we head into play next week. Taking that kickoff and getting absolutely nowhere, forcing the Deer Valley Skyhawks to operate out of the hole, is Jacob Bell.
Well, the play just never got started. Bell received the kick deep in the corner, a well-placed kickoff on the play by Globke. And when Bell got it, trying to go, and they tried to run a reverse, but never giving over was Laramie. It was botched from the start, and they never got out of the hole.
Offensive front, Morrison, Seek, Marcotte, Minger, and Dyke. And the quarterback, Brandon Sear. Phil Hayward is big running back with Laramie, Bell, Hand, and Edelbeck. Sear, the quarterback. Turns and hands off. And a quick opener, still on his feet. He may go all the way. That's Phil Hayward. He's got 5 yards. He's at the 50, the 40, the 30. He could go all the way. He will. Touchdown. First play, Deer Valley.
My goodness, 90 yards just up the middle. He bounced it outside, broke a couple of tackles, and it was nothing but the end zone. The field is clear of the yellow flags, and it is Deer Valley breaking out in front with the big play right off the bat. Phil Hayward.
Play comes 39 seconds into our first quarter, and Phil Hayward, we told you why he was the leading running back, yardage leader in 5A football, and he's done nothing to deter from that. 91 yards, the run. Left footer Matt Frick to kick it through. And right up on the board, 7-0. So the slight underdogs, even on their home field, Deer Valley against the undefeated Horizon Huskies. And there's a wake-up call to the Huskies, Keith.
Well, look how many players from Horizon had him seemingly wrapped up, but he just seemed to keep the legs pumping. And once he broke through the secondary, nobody behind him. It was nothing but clear sailing all the way to the end zone.
You notice also that he had some linemen that were out there congesting up the thing about 3 to 5 yards down the field. Doug Morrison, number 72 there. He goes 6'3", 260, so they've got a huge line, and it paid off there. Certainly the skilled running of Phil Hayward the difference on that football play. Hayward, 91-yard TD gallop. First play from scrimmage, a 7-0 football game.
What a start for this one.
So Horizon, although they're ranked number 1, will be digging themselves out of a hole here, much like they did last week. Deep to receive, John Clayton and Rand Wagner. Clayton, the big offensive threat for the Huskies. He has 1,167 yards. And Hayward now just about 35 yards shy of the 1,500-yard mark. Of course, 91 on your first attempt is a pretty good average, pretty good stat, and a pretty good night.
It's a quick way to get some numbers built up for you anyway. You're well on your way to a 100-yard rushing night.
And you know that all 3 of the local affiliates are watching this one with the number 1 football team in 5A football. Takes a high hop. Ball fielded by Clayton. Clayton can make a go of it. He's at the 30, the 40, touchback at the 50. He could go all the way on the kickoff. And the 20, the 10, the 5, he'll return it for a tying touchdown.
Hey, so much for the defensive struggle in this one to this point. We do have a yellow flag on the field.
About the 38-yard line, but it appears that the flag is against Deer Valley as the official has signaled touchdown. So we'll see. He signaled touchdown, but also signaled the penalty against Horizon. So we'll see. At the very least, they're going to get it about midfield. And right now they are talking to Deer Valley. Matt Garitano in on that powwow with the official, Jason Hand as well. And we'll sort it out.
The touchdown counts. We have an unsportsmanlike penalty against the offensive team. Taunting, 15 yards, penalty test on the extra point.
I guess a post-possession, maybe some players on the field, that kind of thing.
Well, it was a taunting penalty, which is something that was brought in. So apparently somebody from Horizon had something to say to the Deer Valley Club on the field. And this could adversely affect the point after right here.
Well, they've taken taunting to a new height. When your team's just given up a 90-yard touchdown and you're doing the taunting as your kick return man is scooting for the touchdown. So we played less than a minute. Well, we told you Hayward and Clayton, and they have certainly done the job here. Kick return.
Yes, officially we're going 91 yards on the return.
So they're even. Except one will go down in rushing stats, one will go down in all-purpose yardage. Kick coming from the 25.
And it's good.
And he makes it.
Nothing like
of a 35-yarder.
35-yard extra point.
7-7, so, well, you kind of expect that from a number 1 team, not to get down too far. In fact, just a couple of seconds, as a matter of fact. We get a chance to see the replay. Took it there at the 9.
Look as the wedge forms. He's getting some prime blocks in there, and the gap just opened up. Then with Clayton's speed, he was able to get by the kicker, Matt Frick, the last man back. The dive came up short, and Clayton all the way to the end zone. A lot of clear sailing for these scat backs so far.
Well, you know why it's happening early, so we can make the 10 o'clock news and the high school highlights on the 3 stations.
Gosh, we haven't even played a minute yet. We're tied 7-all.
If they're not out here shooting this, they've missed the bonanza, because I don't think we're going to give them our copies, that's for sure. It's going to cost the networks big time. They'll kick it off from the 40. Anything's possible here as Globke will tee it up. We're tied at 7.
Weren't we just here a moment ago?
Yeah. Almost forgot about being cold and going so fast here. Well, they'll kick it deep. And that one will be taken in the end zone. And the touchback will ensue, and they'll take over 1st and 10 at the 20.
Well, wisely that time. Jacob Bell just trying to sit on it in the end zone. And now we'll see what the offensive series will be able to do.
Didn't even give you a chance to set the defense last time.
Speaking of the defense, let's take a look at how the Huskies stack up. There's a defensive front, Vasquez, Rogers, Jacob, and Wing. The linebackers at backfield, Tyree Miller, Wild, Pazak, Clayton, Lanise, and Wagner.
And a flag as the handoff was going to Hayward.
Looks like this one's going to go against the Huskies.
Dead ball foul. Roachman. 5 yards. Repeat first down.
Give them a 1st and 5. Well, sometimes you can take that #1 ranking and, you know, it's just it's an arbitrary thing, and they get a chance to play it here on the field. You look at 4A football, Peoria was ranked #1, but was not seeded first with the 4A point situation, the way they do that. Cohen goes in motion. Snapped up on a 1st and 5 opportunity is Phil Hayward.
Gonna like the play of the interior line for the Huskies that time. You've got Rogers and Jacob right there in the middle, the 2 defensive tackles. They go 230 and 240 respectively, and they just stacked up the middle of the line that time. Were able to make the defensive stop.
Josh Cohen, the man who'd gone in motion, comes over to the sideline, shaken a bit, and he'll be replaced by Jason Hand. 2nd down and 4. Play good for a yard. Split out to the near side is Laramie. Where's number 7? Lone back is Hayward. Back to quarterback Brandon Sear. Sear hands the ball off. Lead through is Hayward, and Hayward has 1st down yardage.
Bit of a gap there. Looked like the defensive tackle Reagan Rogers had a shot at him, but the arm tackle wasn't there, and you can't bring down Phil Hayward with just an arm.
197 yards. That's a 10-yard average, and well over that tonight. He's shooting for a 200-yard night as he is up near the 100-yard mark already with that 91-yard touchdown scamper on the opening play from scrimmage.
Well, he's up to 97 right now officially.
Full house backfield, and Hayward getting the football once again, goes off the left tackle and scoots out to the 37-yard line. Well, they told us they'd be going between the tackles here. A lot of traps, a lot of dives. Yeah, they are true to form here, but he picks up 7 yards. It'll be a 2nd down and 3.
John Clayton, the man that scored the touchdown for Horizon, was in to make the tackle in that time, just getting the ankles of Hayward and tripping him up after the big gain.
The defense counters with Sal Priorello, a 6-foot, 245-pound interior lineman. Try and ward off that huge offensive front. Snap, sort of a broken play. It was a broken play, but no flags. I think everyone was waiting for a flag, but on the quarterback option, Sear able to scoot out for 1st down yardage.
Well, it's remarkable that he got the 1st down to begin with, because his offensive line didn't move, at least the left side did not. And Brandon Sear, though, taking advantage of the situation and scooting for the 1st down. Look, the offensive tackle's still standing there. But at least he formed a roadblock. Everybody had to run around him, and Brandon Sear able to scamper for yardage.
Fortunately, the play went to his side. Goes 6'3", 260, so he does form a target even when not in motion. In motion right now is Hayward. Hayward in midfield. In to make the stop defensively for the Horizon Huskies, Chad Linnaeus, 5'11", 180-pound defensive back. And the defensive backs are going to be called on here. Defensive backs and linebackers to make those stops.
Well, we'll see it coming right at us. James Pazak, number 22, right in front of us. He's out of the picture to the right. He stacked up the play and turned it in. He was able to get in on the tackle. As coming over was Trevor Wild to help out as well.
2nd down, ball just shy of the midfield stripe. Sear calls it out. And a handoff this time to Bob Kirby. And Kirby is going to find no running room on the sweep to the right side. In on the stop, Brendan Delandry.
4 down linemen for the Huskies right there. And stacking the linebackers in close, they were able to stack that play up and move it back. But they're still going to give, they just did push the ball over the 50, so a slight gain on the play. There you see 42. Brooks Tyree coming in, then finally getting some help from behind as Sal Priorello checks in, 6', 245, and he also gets in on the tackle. Big 3rd down play here early.
3rd and 4, 7:35 left, 1st quarter, tied at 7. Quick handoff. Football goes to Hayward. He's going to be stopped well short of first down. He's got about 2, but it'll bring up a 4th down and 2. And now what do you do here? Do you go for it with the good ground game that you've shown so far? Do you punt and try and pin them deep?
No indication from the sideline yet. It looks like the offense. Nope. Now they're going to come off, and here comes the punting unit.
Now they're not quite sure. There's players strewn out between the football and the sideline. And I think Horizon a little hesitant to send someone back. Maybe they think a fake is in order. Rand Wagner drops back.
And now Horizon, they finally will send somebody back.
And getting the kick away, and that's not going to do much.
Off the side of the foot, doesn't even make it to the 40. The official will come up. I believe it's going to be marked at about the 45-yard line where it went out of bounds. So only about a 3-yard net punt on the play. And there you see the disgust in the reaction of Bob Kirby, the punter, as he was not happy with that effort at all.
Kirby wanted to angle it for the sideline, which he did, but the rush was coming from that side as well, so he had to hurry the punt.
Well, he took a big step to his right when he received the snap, and as you said, the pressure did come from that side. He may have been distracted just enough to cause him to shank it off his foot.
Like for a moment, I thought he was going to pass the football, just with that big stride. I thought they were going to run a fake after all that. And off inside goes to Clayton, and Clayton across midfield has 11 yards before he's finally wrestled down on the turf by Jared Bobbitt,
and
who goes
Bobbitt
6 foot, 175.
Bobbitt makes another touchdown-saving tackle right there as a first down for John Clayton. There you see his numbers from last week against Shadow Mountain. 15 carries, 182 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. And the secondaries are going to be having their hands full this evening.
Chad Linnaeus is out to the near side on the split. Jeff Boyd is the quarterback.
I think contact was made there by the defense as they jumped offside. Here's the Horizon offensive front.
Pilato, Vasquez, McLaughlin, McDonald, and Milano. Jeff Boyd is the quarterback. Brooks Tyree, the blocking back for John Clayton. Rand Wagner, Chad Linnaeus, and Colby Sparks is the tight end. 5. Marcotte, Seek, Macias, Regalado, and Shuksta. Garitano, Kirby, Cohen, Bobbitt, Bell, and Laramie, and they'll get a workout tonight trying to wrestle down John Clayton. 1st and 5 after the 5-yard penalty against the defense. Horizon at the 39-yard line. Lineman jumping, ball loose on the floor. Deer Valley thinks they have it, and they do. Well, mix up there. The Deer Valley was jumping off, and it may have thrown the center snap off just a hair. And the turnover will give the ball to Deer Valley, opportunistic here at this moment.
Well, Jeff Boyd never did get the ball from center. He backed out in a hurry. And Nate McLaughlin, the center, number 51, never did quite transfer the ball to his quarterback. Here it is again. See, he never does get it away from center. And by the time the guards are pulling, everybody coming across, no chance for anybody but a defensive lineman to dive on it.
Sear up behind center. Hayward, the running back. Gets the handoff, scoots to the outside. He's at midfield before he's finally dropped and has about 10 yards, and they're going to spot it across the 50, give him the first down yardage. Well, he's averaging nearly 10 yards a carry all season long, and that's the reason why. Running behind that big line.
Well, right here, he can give a big thanks to number 40, Bob Kirby, 5'11", 185. He makes the key block on the defensive tackle, 6'3", 210-pound Mike Milano, and he sprung him for the 10-yard gain of the first down.
Laramie to the near side. Kirby in motion once again. The handoff goes to Hayward. Hayward is steamrolled back by the defensive wall in leading the charge. Defensively, Ryan Wing, 6', 205-pound junior.
And it looked like they tried to do the same thing but go in the other direction that time, and just not able to get outside. Kirby was going in motion again and trying to make the kick-out block on the defensive end coming across, but nothing happening on the inside that time.
2nd down and 10, and if this game has a playoff atmosphere, it should. Both teams certainly playoff caliber football teams. Number 1 Horizon and number 9 Deer Valley in the rankings, and there's Hayward so far tonight. Ball in midfield. 2nd down, 10 to go. Kirby in motion to the far side. Hand off to Hayward, tries to scoot outside, gets away from Wing, gets back across the line of scrimmage for a couple of yards, and a very frustrated Ryan Wing because he had him for the loss.
Well, that time Bob Kirby didn't make the kick-out block. He was shucked easily by Ryan Wing, who got by, had his hands wrapping around Hayward, but just couldn't wrap him up to bring him down for a loss in the backfield.
Third down, 9 situation.
There you see Wing coming in, had his arms around him, even had the shirt a bit, but able to scamper for at least the gain and avoid the loss.
Rolling out on the bootleg is Sears, straightens up, throws, has Kirby. Kirby tapped Dancy along the sideline, depends on the spot if he's got the first down. Good individual effort that time by Kirby, and he is getting the football quite a bit here in the early going, and the chains on the far side, as they always are whenever you have a marking.
Well, not the most beautiful thrown pass in the world. Watch it. And it got tipped. That's why it wasn't that pretty. But Bob Kirby right there got a nice block that got him the first down. Chris Laramie, the other wide receiver, watch him make the crackback block right there, taking out the cornerback on the play and springing him for what looks to be enough yardage for a first down, but we'll have to wait for the spot.
See where the spot was. Bird's eye view of our Channel 11 sports cameras. That's a link short. The missing link.
What did Maxwell Smart always say? Missed it by that much.
That brings up a fourth down and that much. Of course, Kirby showing.
Offside, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Now you've seen that play where the quarterback will come up and just touch and go, just to get the yard. Ball's not going anywhere, and the right tackle anticipating such a play moves offside, and a huge penalty, because now instead of going for it, they bring on the punting unit, Bob Kirby, and send deep John Clayton. Clayton goes 5'7", 175, and angling for the sideline. They're kicking it away is what they're trying to do. They're not getting much yardage, but they're not allowing Clayton to get his hands on the football in a kick return situation. They've been burned once already tonight.
Well, they're trying to play a field position battle right now, too. Most of the game has been played in the defensive end of the Huskies and about the middle of the field. So not wanting to give up the battle of field position in case they don't make the first down. Instead, they're going to try to knock the Huskies back a little bit and see what they can do on the offense and really give the Deer Valley defense their first crack at seeing what they can do.
Jeff Voigt, the quarterback, wears number 1. He's a 5'11" junior. Clayton also a junior. And Clayton gets a handoff, comes to the near side. And he is stopped after a gain of about 4 yards, and credit the defensive push of Josh Cohen. Cohen back in on the defensive side, was shaken up earlier playing in the backfield, but able to fight off the blockers and stand in position, allow the secondary to come up and help. Gain of 3. It'll be a 2nd down 7 situation.
Well, nothing flashy going on right there, just some power football, trying to move it. Lineman getting out and doing a pretty decent job, but by the same token, Deer Valley trying to stack it up and prevent the long gain. They give up 3 on the first down play.
My legs on the line, my legs.
Rand Wagner comes out to the near side. He's picked up defensively by Bobbitt. The handoff goes to Clayton. He's going to be snuffed out and dropped.
Well, the free safety, Chris Laramie, slicing through that time. Coming on the blitz up the middle, he read it well, was right there where he needed to be, and was able to make the hit on Clayton. Few raindrops starting to fall, but let's watch it right there. You see the handoff to Clayton. Here he comes, Laramie, from his free safety position right up the middle. And while the linemen are occupied with the defensive set, he slices through the hole and makes the tackle. Nice defensive play.
Loss of 2, 3rd down 9. First big 3rd down play for the Huskies. But on a reverse, gives the handoff to number 9. That's Rand Wagner, and Wagner is going to be snuffed on the far side and dropped for a gain of 2. It'll bring up a 4th down. They smelled that one out. Up to assist on the tackle, Bob Kirby.
Well, the Skyhawks were not buying that one at all. And it seems that, again, as we said early in the ball game and even in the pregame, it's going to be a running contest tonight. And here's the reverse. They give Durant as he tries to cut around the backside, but staying at home right there, number 50, Tony Marcotte, and he was able to turn the play in and get the stop.
Kick away by Eric Rangel. Trying to set up a return, Mike Pudwell, number 88. He gets to the 38-yard line. A low snap, and give credit to Eric Rangel to get that punt away. 1:27 left, first quarter, 7-7. Horizon and Deer Valley back with more in a moment.
The YWCA's 10th anniversary gift to you, a free breast cancer seminar with free breast examinations October 15 and 16. Call 944-0569 for details. Reservations are recommended.
Deer Valley at the 39-yard line, locked in a 7-7 duel with Horizon in the first quarter. Brandon Sear up under center, turns, hands the ball off to his favorite running back, Phil Hayward. Hayward breaks away, but not able to shed the defensive stop of Rand Wagner, but he'll pick up 6 yards.
Wagner again coming from the defensive backfield and having to make the stop in order to stop an even larger gain. And again, it's the nice running up the middle. And Hayward, he's not a guy that's coming down very easy at all. 6 foot, 175. Watch him here. He's got those instinctive moves that you like in a running back. You see he breaks the tackle there, comes out, cuts out, and finally Wagner able to just get the ankles together enough to drag him down.
Officials have taken time. We've got some equipment problems. Helmet on the Horizon side. It's almost like you give up 7 yards, and that's like a 2 or 3 yard gain in any other football game that you see. Anything that forces a second down, you feel like you've done your job with these two running backs we're showcasing here, Clayton and Hayward.
Well, you look at the other end of the field with Deer Valley on that first defensive play at the other end moments ago. They come out and they hold Clayton to a 3-yard gain on the first play, and it's 2nd and 7, and you feel like they've done a pretty decent job because you know the ball's not going in the air that much, and they've got to gain some good yardage on first down to put them in some good positions to continue moving the football.
Mike Pudwell wears number 88. He's out to the near side, split out. Going to run it to the near side and getting across midfield and first down yardage for Phil Hayward. So Hayward keeps it on the ground in the closing 14 seconds of our first quarter. And they'll stop the clock momentarily to move the chains.
Defensive end DJ Vasquez able to drag him down from behind that time and make the tackle. Vasquez, one of several Huskies who are playing both ways, offensively and defensively. Several players on each team doing that tonight.
You notice after those first 2 big plays we had, the ball's been just this side and that side of the 50-yard line. We've been playing it mostly between the 30s as we have reached the end of the first quarter in a well-played football game. Some human highlight films have been run in this first quarter. A couple of 91-yard gallops, and we'll be back with second quarter action. 7-7 Horizon in Deer Valley.
Every Saturday, beautiful Murphy Park in downtown Glendale is the setting for the Glendale Saturday Market. Admission is free to the public, and there is plenty of free parking. All artists and handcrafters have created their own artwork. The variety and selection is endless, and each one is unique. Also, the library has open book stalls filled with used books and magazines at bargain prices. If you are an artist or have a craft you'd like to sell, phone Ken Richardson at 486-5922 for information. It's fun for the entire family. Every Saturday in downtown Glendale, the Glendale Saturday Market.
7-7 as we head into the second quarter at Deer Valley High School. 53rd Avenue and Union Hills up in the northwest portion of our valley on a very cool night. If you get a chance to see our Skyhawk mascot making his way in amongst the faithful.
Well, you look at the score, and it's still 7-7 at this point in the contest, Dave, but you kind of get the feeling that Deer Valley's controlling the pace of the contest.
Yes, very much so. They've got a first down across midfield. Brandon Sear calls out his signals. And off, guess who? Phil Hayward, and he pounds his way up for 5 more to the 45-yard line.
Well, no doubt about it, Hayward's going to get as many shots at the ball as he can possibly handle tonight.
Well, if you watch Hayward, he likes to pattern his running after one of his favorites, Tom Rathman. There's number 44 for the 49ers. And he likes to pound it inside, even with a 6', 175 features. And he has certainly done it for about 1,500 yards and counting on the season. Second down, 6 opportunity. They're spotted at the 44. And this one goes to Kirby, and he is met and dropped on a solid tackle defensively by the Horizon Huskies' Brooks Tyree.
Tyree got some help from John Clayton as well, as they both came in to stack him up and push him back. No gain on the play. Well, maybe a yard now as they spot it.
And give him the forward progress to the 44. It'll be a third down, a long 4. Boom.
Good solid hit there.
I notice Hayward coming out to the sideline. He is not in for this particular play. Kirby is in the backfield. Steer calling signals here on a 3rd and 5 situation. Drops back, throws on the near side on a slant in. Did he come up with a football? He did. Nice reception by Chris Laramie.
Well, Rand Wagner defending on the play, and he was upset at the call. He thought the ball may have hit the turf. But coming right up with it that time was Chris Laramie. He made no hesitation at all. And we'll see if we can tell anything on our replay. Just a quick one-step back and fire it across. And it looks as though he got his arms underneath it. Nice catch. 2 for 2 now, I guess, for Brandon Sear.
1st and 10 at the 32. Hayward back into the lineup in the backfield. And he gets the handoff. Low handoff, took it off the hip, trying to sweep to the far side. Able to turn the corner. How about that? It looked for all the world like they were going to get him for a loss. He turns it into a 12-yard gain.
Well, this time it's Rand Wagner coming through from the defensive backfield. He makes a dive at the feet, and just nice sidestepping there by Hayward, able to free himself. Our first quarter totals, and again, Deer Valley dominating it. The return yards, the big thing for the Huskies so far. 5 first downs to 1 for Deer Valley. 141 to 16 in the rushing yards. 8 to nothing in passing. The big turnover by the Huskies was not consequential in the scoreboard, but it has been in the field position battle so far, and then the penalty situation as well.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Those stats did not include the 91 yards in kickoff returns for a touchdown by John Clayton to tie this football game up. 9:29 left to go, first half. And some tough hitting on the inside. Let's get a shot of the sidelines. Getting up slowly off the pile, Josh Cohen.
Well, Cohen, a starting linebacker, but he was in the backfield that time. And let's watch as he gets the carry up the middle. Just busting off the left guard there, off tackle, rather, and stacked up after a short gain. 2nd and 8.
Matt Cordova comes flanked out to the near side, picked up defensively by John Clayton. Lone running back is Hayward. Hayward gets the handoff. Slices up through the middle, under the 20-yard line to about the 18. And they're going to set up a 3rd down. They need to get to the 15. And they're going to say his knee touchdown about the 21. So he lost from where he finally wound up about a yard or so. It'll set up a 3rd down and 6.
Not a great big hole there,
no,
but just enough that he could slide through.
Hayward remains the lone running back behind quarterback Brandon Sear. Cordova split out to the near side. Hudwell in motion to the near side, and now a flag, and that's going to be a delay.
Well, it couldn't have come at a worse time for Deer Valley. They're on the move. They've been marching the football down the field on the ground. And they get to a point where they do have a 3rd and 5 situation. It's kind of a marginal play for them. They've been moving the ball well, but it's nothing guaranteed there. And then they come up with a penalty. That's the 2nd time tonight that, and really those what you would call a useless type penalty, not something that that was just due to hard play or a mistake or something of that nature. That just not getting the play off the one previous, just a man jumping offside.
154 yards on the night. Laramie split well out to the far side. Hudwell in the slot. The handoff instead goes to Hayward. Hayward to the 10, to the 5. He loses the football, comes up with it. He'll have 1st and goal at the 3.
Well, he got fortunate right there that the ball dropped right in front of him and he was able to fall on it. But the little delay there, I think the hint 3rd and 10, they thought, hey, there's no way they're going to run it here. It's got to be a pass play. But on 3rd and 10, the little delay up the middle, and with Hayward's explosive speed, he's able to burst it up the middle and get the first down and a lot more.
22 yards on that scamper. He combines the best of a Tom Rathman and a Ricky Waters on a play like that. And here's Deer Valley knocking on the door at the 3-yard line. First and goal. Hand off, and the lead blocker that time was Kirby as he tried to open something for Hayward. Hayward stopped short of the goal line. Second and goal at the 2.5, maybe call it the 3. You get a good shot there. Brandon Sear looking to the Deer Valley sideline for the next play.
Well, these are going to be difficult yards down in here in the trenches.
But you got the secondary and the linebackers up so tight, they don't have much to, not only to cover, but the chances of a pass remote. And off once again, Hayward, and he tries to lean forward. He's going to be stopped short of the goal line once again. Goes up a 3rd and goal. Toughest yards in all of football right there. And the chain moves about 1.5 yards, a down marker. 3rd and 1.5 yards.
See the interior play there. They're trying to open a hole to the middle if it was a little bit more to the right, but Hayward outside on the play trying to get it back inside, but by the time he got there, the hole had closed that time.
Sierra quarterback. Hayward directly behind him. Kirby in the backfield as well. And the handoff, he's in. Phil Hayward with the touchdown, the go-ahead score here with 5:57 left to go in the first half.
Well, just a quick plunge over the left side, relying on quickness as much as brute force right there. And off the ball quickly was the Skyhawks offensive line. They were able to crack the defense just enough for Hayward to push himself into the end zone.
Hayward goes to 2 yards here, and don't forget the 22 yards he got on a 3rd and 10 at the 25. Kick is skyward, and Frick puts it home with the left foot. And at 5:57 remaining first half, number 9 rated Deer Valley leading the number 1 ranked Horizon Huskies 14-7. And if you figure that outside of a special teams touchdown by Horizon, Deer Valley has really put the kibosh on them so far. Get a chance to see the touchdown. Chance to set up here as you get the chance to see the sideline, and Phil Hayward has a couple of touchdowns to his credit, hugging up towards the 200-yard mark in tonight's game. Has the Rathman haircut.
Oh, he's got it all down, and he's looking good this evening, running the ball. And talk about a workhorse. What's he got, 19 carries already? 19 carries, 180 yards.
Wow. Almost 10 a carry. He's a native of Nebraska, and he'd love to play there. And don't think Tom Osborne, who has had some great running backs in the past, wouldn't want one of his caliber, but just a junior.
Well, there you see Wagner and Clayton deep, and you see how they're staggering themselves right now. They won't decide who's going where until the kick is on the way. That will keep Deer Valley from kicking away from John Clayton. But if we see what Deer Valley did last time, we know that Matt Frick's got quite a leg. His extra point almost went over the scoreboard. And last time he just squibbed it down the middle. Now this time he's going deep and down.
And he's going to kick it out of the end zone. Well, that's worth plenty of yardage right there, because that forces them to start at the 20. And with a player Clayton's caliber.
Look at that. Sustained scoring drive. 11 plays, 61 yards. The 1-yard plunge by Hayward. 7.5 minutes off the game clock. That's the kind of thing that can really give your defense some rest. And it can put Horizon back on their heels. Let's see how they come out after the big long drive. First and
10, 20-yard line after the touchback kick. Split out to the near side. Chris Linnaeus, Chad Linnaeus. Go back to Jeff Boyd. And up to Clayton. Boy, he is untouched for the first 10 yards, bumping and grinding up there near first down yardage. Boy, he just shot through there. About the first 6 yards unscathed, and will finish up with an 8-yard carry. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 2.
Well, it took Laramie and Cohen both from Deer Valley to bring him down. There wasn't one guy that was going to drag him down here. Watch as he busts through the line. And finally, Laramie and Cohen wrap him up. and then they have to drag and pull on him and able to get him to go down.
Second down, 2, 5:20 left to go, first half. 14-7, Deer Valley up. Long count by Voigt. Hand off on the inside as they fake the option play. And getting the tough yardage inside was Brooks Tyree.
Miguel Regalado making the tackle on the interior. And the Skyhawks going with 5 down linemen trying to thwart that Husky offensive attack as they run the ball right up the middle.
Tyree gain of 5 yards. It'll set up a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line with the 5-minute mark coming up. Split out to the near side is Jeremiah Johnson, number 31 for Horizon. Dropping back, the pass is Boyd. He wants to go up top. Has his receiver leaping grab. Couldn't come up with it. Intended for the tight end, Colby Sparks. Sparks had a step on the defense about the 40-yard line, but couldn't come up with the pass a little over his head. And Sparks goes 6'3".
Well, not a poorly thrown pass at all. In fact, Voigt got back and had his man open. He got it out there. But Sparks just unable to haul it down. He had gotten behind the defense on the play. Nice setup and a good toss. And a nice effort by Sparks, but he just couldn't get it.
Clayton, there you see him, the deep back in the eye. He gets the handoff, skirts the outside, now cuts back, but there to stop him on the second down play. Coming up defensively, Matt Garatano.
Garatano just wanted to make sure that time. He just stopped right there, turned Clayton in, and when he got him in, he wrapped up the thighs and fell to his knees, saying, if you're going anywhere, you're dragging me with you.
Notice Clayton here, the ability to stop on the dime, kick to the outside to see if there's anything there. That reminds you a little of Marcus Allen, that ability to stop just shy of the pile, the intended hole, and cut to the outside, or in Allen's case, able to reverse it at times. 4 minutes left to go first half, a 3rd down 9 situation. Not afraid to put up the football is Horizon. They'll roll out. Voigt now being rushed, hit as he throws, has a receiver wide open down the field is Wagner. Wagner at the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown.
Well, that one's going to go 66 yards to go in the books as a touchdown. Another big play for the Huskies. And Jeff Voigt paid for it as he got drilled just as he let go of the football. But nonetheless, 6 points on the board for the Huskies. And a point after attempt away from having another tie football game.
Rand Wagner had a big night last week in their win over Shadow Mountain. He scored the go-ahead touchdown on a 24-yarder. Voigt not afraid to put the football up, and wide open was Rand Wagner. And they're just a conversion away from tying the football. Brett Glomke. High snap. He's able to get it down and put it up and through, and we're tied at 14. Touchdown comes at 3:49 of our first half.
Watch Voigt set up here, crashing in on him right there, number 85, Steve Schuksta, and he just plowed over the top of Voigt, but Voigt with enough on it and a wide open Rand Wagner, the 5'10", 170-pound senior, behind everybody, and beat Jacob Bell there. Look, there's nobody within 10 yards of him when he catches the football.
I know the folks over in the East Valley may have a say about it, but would not be surprised to see one of these two teams playing at Sun Devil Stadium middle part of next month in the 5A championship. Certainly quality running backs, and the defenses have played well, and also the offensive lines. Of course, the Mesas and the Mountain Views and the like may have something to say about that. Back deep to receive for Deer Valley, who have been tied here. 14 all. Jacob Bell was number 82. Number 7 is Chris Laramie. Klopke set to move on the football, and he certainly has leg enough to put it into the end zone. But instead, he'll line drive. It takes a high hop, goes off of Kirby. They finally fumble for it. Guess who it comes to? Phil Hayward. And if anybody can make something out of nothing, it's Hayward, but he'll be down about the 25-yard line. They kind of hit Hayward up in the up-back position that time, but he got the football. They'll set up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line with 3:43 left first half in a tie football game.
There's the scoring drive by the Huskies. 5 plays, 2 minutes and 6 seconds off the clock. They go 80 yards after the kick was put into the end zone. And the big strike, 66 yards, Voigt to Wagner.
Frustrating for Deer Valley. They'd marched 7.5 minutes to get a go-ahead touchdown. And then in 2 minutes' time, and a long bomb at 66 yards. They tried up at 14, and now a little too long. They're going to be caught for delay again. They're going to set up 1st and 15. And each of the last 3 drives, they have had some very biting penalties. Able to overcome it the last time and go down and score. But you remember they had that 4th and inches at the Horizon 40 back in the first quarter.
Well, this one looks like it's going to go against the Huskies. Possibly someone lined up offsides for Horizon. And, yep, it's going to be a 1st and 5 for Deer Valley.
A break there for Deer Valley.
Here you're looking at Coach Fred Hager of Deer Valley High School. Stalking the sidelines, trying to...
1st and 5 situation. His counterpart across the way, Doug Schaefer of the Huskies. 1st and 5. The back directly behind Sear is Hayward. He wears number 5. And he gets the quick handoff, cuts through, but he is hit about the 32-yard line. The gain of 2.
Well, Hayward,
second down.
Hayward meeting his counterpart then again. John Clayton, who goes both ways. He's the tailback and also works in the defensive backfield. And he makes the stop after only a couple of yards on the pickup.
2nd down and 3 as we get a chance to see it here. A couple of helmets locking heads there. 2nd down and 3. Hayward now lined up on the far side, gets the handoff, and gets up across the 35 to about the 37-yard line, has 1st down yardage. And
well, he does get the 1st down. Nelson Jacob across to make the tackle for the Huskies. But, hey, here's a versatile back, and you got to kind of look and see how they set up to find out where the football is going to go, because they'll move Hayward around in the backfield. This time they set him on the right halfback side, and he comes across with 2 lead blockers and able to pick up enough yardage to get the 1st down. There you see the kick out on the block by Matt Garitano as he tried to help open the hole.
They come out with wideouts this time. In motion is Cohen, the lone back, and getting the handoff is Hayward, and he's going to be snuffed behind the line.
Well, he was the only option that time, and he gets swarmed in the backfield, as now the Huskies are almost totally ignoring any passing option that Deer Valley may have, and with only 1:40 to go, they're going no huddle.
And a player we've called a number of times already, Ryan Wing, on the stop, loss of a half a yard. Dropping back, flag down, thrown, and the ball is picked off. Picked off by Rand Wagner, intended on the near side for Cordova, who got a hand on it. We'll see what the flag was. It may have been a motion penalty, which would give the ball to Horizon. We'll see.
Well, Matt Cordova tipped it and went right into the hands of Rand Wagner. Going to be a motion penalty against Deer Valley. It'll be declined. And the Huskies will have the football.
Foul. Illegal procedure. Illegal motion on the offense. Penalty is refused. It's down White.
And now excitement on the other side of the field as you see head coach Doug Schaefer. Watch it. Here's the setup, just a quick out pattern, and it was thrown slightly behind Cordova. He got a hand on it and look, tipped it right into the chest of Rand Wagner. So Wagner now with a touchdown and an interception, each team with a turnover now. And with 1:20 and counting here in the first half, let's see if the Huskies want to do something to put themselves in front at halftime.
If Cordova doesn't get a hand on it, that ball probably falls incomplete. Break here for the Huskies. Rolling out is Voigt. He's going to tuck it under and run with the football. He cuts back to the middle of the field. He's at the 25, wrestled down at the 23-yard line, making the stop downfield, Josh Cohen. But a gain of 20 yards on the quarterback keeper that time by Jeff Voigt.
Well, much the same situation as I just talked about with Deer Valley and how they move Hayward around in the backfield. This time, Clayton sets up on the right side in the backfield. They fake it to him, and Voigt is going to have this run called back on a holding penalty, but a nice run it was as he broke some tackles. Voigt 5'11", 165, a junior. See, there's the fake, the bootleg. Thought he was going to throw it at first, but then he just tucked it and ran. Designed as a run all the way.
10-yard penalty with each 1st down.
Now, the flag comes about 10 yards upfield from the original line of scrimmage. So actually the penalty
First
is
and
about 1 yard.
First and 11. And Horizon's going to take a timeout to talk things over.
Even minute left on the scoreboard clock, first half, and the teams will talk it over. Horizon will stay on the playing field, and the Huskies will go to the far sideline and huddle around their coaching staff, headed by Doug Schaefer. Minute left first half in a 14-14 game. And even though we've had plenty of action, it's how else could you but slow down after those first couple of plays?
Well, we talked early in the ball game how it might be a defensive struggle, but how both teams had big play capability, and it happened right away. Hayward with the 90-plus yard run to start things off. And then the fact that Deer Valley has 4 shutouts on the season, in fact, outscoring opponents 58-7 over the last 2 weeks. Well, the shutout lasted all of 53 seconds here this evening as the kickoff returned by Clayton. But then some nice play on both sides of the football. But really, Horizon right now still relying on 2 big strikes in order to get their points on the board. Deer Valley has still controlled the pace of the football game, but they're even on the scoreboard, 14-all.
Ball spotted at the 44-yard line. First and 11 after that penalty. Get the quarterback comparisons. Not likely to put it up, although Boyd has completed one. It was a 66-yarder for the tying touchdown to Rand Wagner. Clayton is in motion. Back to pass. They throw over here on the near side. The pass comes to Clayton. Still working, still on his feet, and tries to evade the tackle of Chris Laramie. Couldn't do it. And for all that moving around, he'll pick up about 4 yards. They want to go without a huddle here. 40 seconds left, first half.
And a little pushing and shoving going on after that play. We're going to get a timeout right now with 34 seconds left as the Huskies want to take some time. No flags came down on the field, but they were pushing each other around quite a bit.
34 seconds left till halftime, tied up at 14-all. (14-14) football game, 34 seconds left, second quarter of action. And action being the operative word. We noticed during the timeout, John Clayton helped to the sideline, and we'll see what kind of contact caused that him to come off walking gingerly. In fact, had to be helped the last 5 or 10 yards.
Well, they ran the same set as they did in the last play in which Voigt ran for the big gain. In fact, you see him, he dropped the ball there. It looked like the defensive man making the tackle may have rolled over on the foot, maybe a hyperextension or something of that nature going on. They used the same set as they did when Voigt ran and scrambled for the big gain on the holding penalty, but this time again faking it to Clayton and then deciding to throw back to Clayton on the near side of the field. A little misdirection, trying to get him the football in the open field where he can do something with it. He just ran into a swarming Deer Valley defense that time, and a lot of running with not much gain.
Back to pass as Boyd throws and had his receiver right at the first down marker, but not able to come up with it, was Chad Linnaeus.
Well, the clock didn't run at all on that play, so
see if the officials can get him to reset. Well, he can't claim hometown clock because that happened with Horizon having the football here at Deer Valley High.
Well, Clayton's still out of there and obviously going to go with the passing situation here, it seems.
Third down and 10. Boyd up under center. Fakes the handoff. He's going to be back to pass. Has time. Throws it across the field. Has his man wide open once again. And going in for the touchdown is Rand Wagner, his second of the game.
Well, 43 yards on this one. And again, using the play action on the situation. Faking the run on the left side. And going back, Voigt, he's got the good arm, and he's thrown a couple of strikes, long ones to Rand Wagner, and both of them going for touchdowns.
Rand Wagner has nearly as many miles tonight as Rand McNally. He's got a couple of huge touchdowns. And for the first time tonight, Horizon takes the lead, 2014, pending the conversion attempt by Globke. And a 21-14 advantage. It comes with 24 seconds remaining in our first half of action.
Well, 21-14 now. Hey, you got to like that big strike capability of the Horizon Huskies. It happened last week, and they broke open a game, and it's brought them back from two deficits here tonight. And here's again, and we'll get a chance to see. Well, he can really wing it out there. And again, beating his man easily as Wagner is well behind the defense. This time trying to get back and make the stop is Jacob Bell. And Bell again just trying to catch up and can't quite get there. Look at him, 5 yards beyond.
They've shown the capability to throw the football, and in a situation where Clayton was on the sideline, Boyd can certainly air it out. We have not been able to really see Brandon Sear and his passing capabilities, although he was picked off on a deflected pass his last time, which set up that go-ahead score. Chris Laramie is back deep. Also back to Jacob Bell. Globke moves on the football. Another squibber. Ball fielded there. And trying to make something out of nothing is Kirby. And Kirby able to get a couple of yards up to the 33-yard line where they'll take over. 16 seconds remaining in the first half. And we'll see. They go for something big here, or just see if you can't grind something out and maybe open up a quick one for Hayward. They're going to run the clock here.
I'm curious to see if they're even going to get a snap off before the clock runs out.
They set up with Hayward as the lone running back, down to 5 seconds.
Back up, Jake.
And just getting it off, and the handoff comes to Hayward. And he will spin for about 3 yards, and that's going to ring down the first half. Big play football for two very good football teams. The #1 ranked Horizon Huskies come up to Deer Valley, and we played a half of football, 21-14. #1 rated Horizon leading #9 rated Deer Valley. 21-14 our count. Back with more right after this.
What?
And your parents think bike helmets will just keep you safer. If you want to be cool, helmets are the rule.
21-14 at the half as Horizon comes back with a couple of touchdowns late in the first half to take the lead. 21-14. It's been a big play type night as far as the first half has been concerned, Keith.
Well, you look at the ball game so far, and we're looking at our first totals, and you see how Deer Valley is really dominated statistically on one end of the coin. 9 first downs to 2 for Horizon, 196 on the ground to 28 for the Huskies. The passing yards, though, in favor of Horizon, 2 long scoring strikes, 109 of those yards coming on 2 plays. And 112 overall. Each team with a turnover. Penalties, a little bit of a factor in the ball game so far. Each team has wasted some opportunities via the penalty route, but it's been the big play situation, and Deer Valley really had the game in control until the last really 4.5 minutes of the football game here in the first half, when Horizon scores twice in the last 4 minutes to take the 21-14 advantage.
The two teams got off like lightning. First play from scrimmage was Phil Hayward for Deer Valley, the leading rusher in 5A football, and he showed us why, going 91 yards on the opening play from scrimmage.
There's his totals for the first half. That looks like a great ball game. Some guys had settled for a season there, 22 carries. In the first half alone, 187 yards, and again, 92 coming on the first play of the football game.
Came at 11:21, but 14 seconds later, the football game was tied up as John Clayton took the kickoff return, and you'll see what he does here on the high hop.
Well, that was speeded up just a little bit, but not too much, because this guy's got some speed, and only one man to beat after he burst through that first hole, and he gets by the kicker on the play, Matt Frick, and able to take it into the end zone and tie the game at 7 apiece as we were just about a minute into the contest.
See some of the fans at halftime bundled up. It is a very cold night here at Deer Valley High School at 53rd Avenue and Union Hills.
Well, Dave, you'd mentioned at the outset of the football game that the flag at the south end zone was hanging limp, even though it was a fairly cool evening. Well, with about 3 minutes to play or 4 minutes to play in that first half, all of a sudden a breeze started coming out of the north, and it got very, very chilly, even more so than when we started the football game. And that could have a factor in it. The wind's continuing to blow here. Not sure if we're going to get any rain or not.
We'll set up for the second half of action with Horizon leading Deer Valley 21-14 at Deer Valley High.
National.
21-14 at the half. Dave Eddy along with Keith Baker, and waiting for the two teams to make their way to the playing field for the second half. Horizon coming in with a perfect mark, 9-0, ranked number 1 in 5A football. Number 9 ranking for Deer Valley, who stand at 7-2. They are even as far as region play is concerned. So tonight's game is for the Desert Valley Region Championship, and the 5A playoffs begin the following Friday. You get a chance to see the quarterback stats, and Voigt has been what's put him on top for the Horizon Huskies with a couple of touchdown passes to Rand Wagner.
Well, you see that 3 for 5 for 111 yards. Well, the first one was 66 yards from Voigt to Wagner. Globke added the kick, and then he came back, and with just 24 seconds to play in the first half, a 43-yard pass again to Wagner. And all of a sudden, Deer Valley finds themselves in a hole for the first time tonight.
There you see a logo that you see throughout town, inundated with. Phoenix Suns. Last week's game, we even noticed some people that had little portable TVs in the crowd at the Mayor's Cup game. Oh, they got a shot of us. That's the obligatory shot of the booth. Although we're not in a booth, we're out amongst the elements here. We're out with the camera folks.
You got to love being amidst the fans, though.
That's
you
right.
get to hear all the cheers and all the things that they want to say to the officials that we hope don't get on the microphones.
Well, it's easy for Harry Carey to go out in the bleachers on a sunny day in Chicago. Get him up here. The wind and the elements aren't quite so favorable.
Well, I had the opportunity to be in the Northland yesterday up in Flagstaff, and I actually got snowed on.
Well, if you don't listen to Bill Austin, you're going to get caught. That seems to be the problem.
Well, here come the Skyhawks.
Skyhawks, who certainly came out sky high, got the 91-yard touchdown run on the opening play from scrimmage from Phil Hayward, and led throughout the football game. We're tied up a couple of times at 7-7 and 14 all. But then the 43-yard touchdown pass from Voigt to Wagner with 24 seconds remaining in the first half gave Horizon their first advantage of the football game. As the teams are about ready to set, we'll watch the replay of that touchdown pass that gave them the lead.
This is the first pass, actually, that the 66-yarder here, because you see this is the one where Wagner was so far behind anybody they couldn't get a defender in the picture until he was almost in the end zone. And Wagner with those 2 catches, heck, that's a great night for you right there, and we're only at the end of the first half.
Jerry Rice type numbers. I know I've been referring to the 49ers, but unlike some clubs in the AFC that let quarterbacks and receivers go, chance to see the second touchdown pass. This one, the 43-yarder.
Well, Wagner again on the receiving end of this one. This is one that Voigt just threw up in the air. Wagner kind of circled under it, waited for it, and took it into the end zone. But you got to give Voigt a lot of credit. He has stood back there in the pocket, and he's taken a couple of licks when he's been back there in passing situations, and he's delivered the ball to the receivers. Even the ones that were not complete passes were fairly close to being on the mark, and the receivers just didn't come down with them. So you got to give him some credit. Jeff Voigt doing an outstanding job throwing the football here this evening, especially when you've got that John Clayton in the backfield. Everybody's trying to look for him. If Voigt can give it on the line and deliver the football, it's going to result in some good yardage for Horizon because everybody's looking for Clayton to carry the ball.
Horizon, as you'll remember, deferred to the second half, so they will take the opening kickoff up by 7 as we're set to go in our final half of football and our final half of regular season coverage here on Glendale City Cable Channel 11. Dave Eddy along with Keith Baker to bring you the play-by-play of tonight's game. Fred Hager, head man of the Skyhawks. His team coming in with a 7-2 mark. Well, we have been up here one time. Seems like every year we've been up here for the last 4 or 5 years, and we've come up when the Skyhawks have not had the good football team. In fact, they had to take on a tough Brophy and Mike Mitchell a year ago, but they have certainly put it together for a fine 7-2 package and trailed by 7 here against the #1 team in the state.
Well, as we talked about here at halftime, they have really done a good job in the first half of this football game. Some big plays have put them in the hole right now, but they've just got to come out and try to sustain themselves once again, keep the football going in their favor, and hope that their defense can shore up and not give away that big play anymore.
Yeah, a lot of the fans down near the refreshment stand getting the coffee and the hot chocolate, and they a little discouraged with the touchdown, the 3rd and 9 pass that went for the downs and gave them the lead. Horizon that was, and the Deer Valley fans are hoping to rally here, and they would need the defensive stand as they will kick it off to Horizon to start our second half of football. Rand Wagner will be one of the deep backs, as you see him there, and he has scored a couple of touchdowns. Eric Rangel wears number 20.
Which brings to mind very quickly, and here he comes out of the locker room late, coming onto the sideline, John Clayton, and he ran out of the locker room, is now on the sideline on the far side of the field. So I heard a cheer coming up from the Horizon sideline. Look for him, and he looks to be okay and ready to play football in the second half.
That's about 1,400 yards of rushing that has just been added to their sideline. As he was dinged up in that first half, had to leave the game, although they did score the go-ahead touchdown late in the first half. Deer Valley sent to kick it off. Matt Frick, who has certainly put a lot of leg into his kicks tonight. Get a shot of Matt there. 6'2", 210-pound senior. Doubles as a linebacker. And he's going to kick this one deep, and it's going to be fielded. A slip down, but able to make the grab. A nice catch by Wagner. Now he'll turn it back upfield. He's at the 20. He'll be dropped at the 22-yard line.
Well, the amazing thing right there about Wagner is that when he slipped, that he didn't get his knee down on the field. He kept his knee off of the turf and was able to catch the ball. Almost looked like he was doing the limbo a little bit when he caught the football and brought it back for a nice return.
These two teams able to strike like lightning, and we notice up to the north some lightning heading down towards us. So the second half, the elements could play a factor before it's over. Rain, we've just had a few drops in the early second quarter. Set up at quarterback with Jeff Voigt. Notice Clayton is not in the backfield, and the handoff goes inside to Rand Wagner. And
well,
Wagner stopped for Little.
It looks as though Horizon may depend on Wagner a bit more from the running standpoint here in the second half, as they give it to him on the first play from scrimmage in the second half.
Number 33 is replacing Clayton right now. That is Sitev Jasir. He checks into the lineup at 5'9", 170 pounds. He is operating in the backfield. He comes out in a slot back position right now. So that's Jeff Voigt calling a signal. Fake, and Voigt's going to keep it. Comes around to the near side, and he is brought down at the 27-yard line. We have pick up a 4 to set up a 3rd down and 6.
Miguel Regalado making the tackle, and again the 5-man front for Deer Valley defensively, able to move with the flow of the play on the bootleg by Voigt. And here it is once again. You see the lead blockers. There's the pulling lineman coming out. Slicing through there from the backside was Chris Laramie from the safety spot, and he was chasing on the play. So Deer Valley trying to shake things up, sending some of the defensive backs in blitz situations and trying to create something and knock Horizon back.
3rd down, a long 5 for Horizon, coming up on the 10-minute mark of our 3rd quarter. Opening drive of the second half, and breaking through and getting first down yardage and more up near midfield, losing the football, but it was after he was stopped, was Brooks Tyree. And Tyree able to spin off good yardage, get first down yardage and more. He'll be stopped at the 47-yard line.
A nice little package there, 5'10", 205, and he kind of just rambles up the middle and busts through the line. Once he gets through that first surge of the 5-man front, look, he gets a nice hole right there. Once he's through that, nobody touches him until he gets well down the field. good pursuit there. You see coming up from behind as a tackle is made. Regalado from the defensive line spot, still giving good pursuit on the play.
Tyree and Jasir gets the handoff and stopped just short of the 50-yard line. Be a gain of 2.5 on the carry. Up to assist on the stop, Josh Cohen. He wears number 32. We've seen him a number of times in on the stop. 6'1", 190-pound linebacker. He is a junior. Coming into the lineup is Rand Wagner.
Well, let's see now. They've been running the football up the middle since the second half began, and just kind of wonder how long will it be until they run the play action again and try to go to Wagner up the sideline again.
Lanise split out to the far side. In the slot is Wagner. He's got a couple of touchdown receptions tonight. The handoff instead goes inside. That's Tyree. He's down to the 40 to the 38-yard line and has another first down for the Huskies.
Just a quick slant coming right back up the middle. And I tell you, when you're not keying on a guy like Brooks Tyree, he's got some strength and a little bit of quickness to get to the line of scrimmage. And he's busted a couple of plays for substantial gains and giving the Huskies some very, very good rugged running inside here to start the second half.
Disconcerting for Deer Valley because this yardage being reeled off not by John Clayton but by Brooks Tyree. Clayton still on the sideline. Long count. And off again to Tyree. Cuts back towards the middle, down to the 30 to the 29-yard line, and then driven back. But he'll pick up 8 yards on the carry. And he is reeling it off at a 7 or 8 yard clip right now.
Hey, you just got to give some credit to those linemen up front right now. We've been giving Brooks Tyree some credit. But look at it. McLaughlin, the center, leading the way. Also up there, DJ Vasquez and Steve McDonald, and the tackles Milano and Pilato opening up the hole in the middle. And right now, the Huskies controlling the football game at the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 2. Ball on the 30-yard line. 7:55 and counting, third quarter. Huskies up by 7. A little bit of a mix-up in the backfield, but the pass thrown, and it will fall to the turf, incomplete. Was trying to go to Wagner.
That'll upset your timing a little bit when you're trying to set up, and all of a sudden you run smack into Sitzman.
Come on, defense!
And you don't know what to do. I think it did just throw the timing of Voigt off just a little bit. I don't know, check your I got 2 33s listed on my roster. Jasir is one of them. The other one is Jay Sitzman. And we'll have to figure out which one of those it is. Look at Tyree, 5 carries, 45 yards, all here in the second half.
Third down play is going to give them first down yardage, but the ball loose on the turf. They're going to rule it down, and the Huskies will retain possession as Tyree got first down yardage.
Well, you've heard the rule before. The ground can't cause a fumble. So if he goes to the field and hits the turf and the ball pops out, the ground doesn't cause the fumble. Let's watch it again as Tyree goes right up the middle one more time. Big, strong kid. And you see he does go down to the turf and then the ball squirts out. At least from that last view it looked that way. Let's check it again from this one. Kind of spins for that extra yard. Ooh, I don't know. He may have lost that as he went for the lunge on spinning around.
During the replay, Clayton has checked into the lineup. His first action here in the second half after being shaken up in the first half. Gets the hand up, breaks through the middle, he's down to the 10 to the 5, hit into the end zone, touchdown. First play on the second half. He comes in on a 1st and 10 at the 19, gets 19 yards and a touchdown, and a 2-touchdown lead for the Horizon Huskies.
I tell you, heavily taped left ankle as well. But he still had that quickness, and oh my, right up the middle for 6.
And here you see it, showing no effects from that injury in the first half.
Wasn't touched till he got down to about the 5-yard line. And a good effort defensively, but too little too late that far down the field.
Conversion attempt forthcoming by Globke.
Point after.
And a 28-14 football game. As Horizon starting to extend themselves.
Look at this one more time from a little different set. And you see once again that 5-man front. Once he busts through that, there's not much help coming from behind, and he just does get into the end zone. A good effort in the backfield by Laramie and Bobbitt, but he got in for the score.
28-14, Horizon has scored 21 unanswered points here to lead in the third quarter at 7:05 by 2 scores, 28-14. set for the Horizon kickoff here in just a moment. Brett Glavke will kick it off. Laramie, one of the deep backs. Jacob Bell also, and you see that heavily taped left side.
He looks to be favoring it a little bit, standing on the sideline there. You see how he doesn't always put a lot of pressure on the left foot, but heck, if I could run that well with a bum ankle, we'd be pretty happy about it.
Something about adrenaline and a pigskin under your arm that makes you forget about it, at least for 20 yards. This one will be kicked into the end zone and go through, and they'll set up at the 20-yard line. They'll set up camp here. First possession of the second half for the Deer Valley Skyhawks, who trail at 28-14. Here at the home of the Skyhawks, Deer Valley High School. Dave Eddy along with Keith Baker on Glendale City Cable, Channel 11 Sports. Happy to bring you this 5A football game. Number 1 ranked Horizon, number 9 rated Deer Valley.
Well, let's see what Deer Valley comes out here in the second half. Now down by 2 touchdowns, the first time they touched the ball in the second half. Are they going to stay with the game plan right now?
Sear at quarterback. In motion is Kirby. And off goes to Hayward, and Hayward straight ahead for about 5.
The same type of play that they opened up the ball game with. They send Kirby in motion, and he tries to make the kick-out block while the linemen head upfield. See the tight end, Matt Edelbeck, coming across, trying to lead through the gap.
Laramie to the near side, Bell to the far side, Sear under center. In motion is Kirby. Handoff instead goes to Hayward, and Hayward breaks it out towards the first down. And from here, appears that he has it. He does.
Well, Deer Valley's doing a good thing right here. They haven't panicked. They realize there's a lot of time left in the football game and that they've been doing a good job on the ground. They're staying with the plan. They're getting good blocking up front. And right now, just running it up the field is Phil Hayward once again. Tell you, this kid's going to be tired tonight.
Laramie comes to the near side once again. 1st and 10. Ball just over the 30-yard line for Deer Valley, who trail by 14. Quick handoff, and that's going to be snuffed for no gain right at the line of scrimmage.
Looked like they tried to misdirect a little bit there, trying to spring Hayward up the middle. You notice there were 3 backs in the backfield. 2 of them went like they were sweeping to the left. Kicking out on the block is Kirby and trying to come up the middle against a slant against the defense coming through following the flow of the play. Just didn't spring that time, only a gain of 1.
2nd and 9, 31-yard line for Deer Valley. 5.5 left, third quarter.
Just outside.
Coming in motion is Cordova. And the handoff goes to Hayward. And he scoots out across the 35-yard line. Phil Hayward up near that 200-yard mark.
There's the scoring drive for Horizon. 9 plays, 77 yards over 4 minutes and 48 seconds. And the 20-yard run by John Clayton, his 2nd score of the football game.
Sear getting the play a little bit late. He may have to hurry it up here to avoid the delay of game penalty. Ends are in tight. Full house backfield. And a bootleg. Sear going to try and turn the corner, angling for that chain, and he's not going to get it.
He didn't get there, and you got to give a lot of credit right here to Rand Wagner. He's making plays on both sides of the football tonight, playing from the defensive back position. He was not fooled by the bootleg at all. He stayed at home on that side of the field and was able to get out and bring down Brandon Sear for really no gain on the play and set up a 4th down punting situation for Deer Valley. Tell you, though, a well-conceived play by Deer Valley. It's just the Huskies were smart enough to stay home and do their homework on it.
Frick back to punt to receive the football. And a fake punt. And no, now he's going to kick it away. It's going to go straight up in the air, hit about the 45-yard line, kick back. And for all that, they're going to get about 12 yards on the kick before it's down by Dave Baruman. And they were going to try the fake kick if he could get it. Couldn't get it. Tried to kick the football. And he was 12 yards.
Awful close to the line of scrimmage, it looked like, from this angle when he kicked the football. Who's the guy from Arizona State a couple of years ago? Came in, Australian rules football type player, and he used to try to do that quite a bit.
Wasn't Mike Shue, was it?
thinking Williamson or something of that nature. But nevertheless, great field position for the Huskies coming back now.
1st and 10 for quarterback Jeff Voigt. And off on the inside as the fake came to the near side to Clayton.
Now, this play never did get off the ground from the snap. Turning was Voigt, and he tried to give it off straight up the middle to Brooks Tyree, and they kind of collided in their shoulder pad areas when he was handing off the football to Tyree. That slowed him down enough that the defense wrapped him up, and it was nothing but the turf for Tyree at that point.
Time becoming a factor here with 3:15 remaining 3rd quarter. Horizon up by 2 touchdowns and the football at midfield. 144 yards of all-purpose running. He gets the pitch this time. Takes it back to the line of scrimmage, but a nice tackle down around the ankles by Chris Laramie. Didn't allow Clayton to get going.
I tell you, from his free safety spot, he is really keying on John Clayton. And he read that pitch play coming all the way, released well ahead from the defensive backfield, and came up to make the stop on Clayton. Good defensive play. Here he comes again.
Looked like he had some room, but right there, able to trip him up was Laramie to set up the 3rd down and 9. 2.5 left, 3rd quarter. Voigt dropping straight back, has time, now throws to the near side, has his receiver down the middle, making the grab down to the 19-yard line is Jeremiah Johnson, 5'10", 160-pound junior, as he pounds his way down inside the 20. And they have another 1st down, this one coming on a 3rd down pass completion on 3rd and 9. They've been very big on 3rd and long, not afraid to put it up top.
Well, a good look by Jeff Voigt this time. He's beat the Deer Valley defense deep twice, and this time he just takes it easy, looks for Jeremiah Johnson underneath coverage this time, coming across the middle of the field, finds a gap in the defense, and able to connect for the big 1st down play. Big play there for Horizon.
2 minutes remaining, 3rd quarter. Horizon knocking on the door once again at the 19-yard line. Clayton scored from here the last time on a 1st and 10 at the 19. Gets the handoff and won't go anywhere. As the middle of the interior line stiffens up, makes the stop, and it'll set up a 2nd down and 10. Dan Seek, 6'4", 230-pound defensive lineman, making the stop.
Skyhawks just stuffed that play from the outset. Again, trying to run the misdirection, sending the linemen and the backs to the right side as if it were a sweep, and then giving it back to Clayton as he cuts back against the grain, hoping to just find a seam to set into.
Chad Linnaeus out to the near side. Clayton starting to go in motion, but they're going to run it to the near side, tucking it under his Voigt, and he's going to be snuffed for no gain. It'll set up a 3rd down and 12. And just avoiding a sack further back by Chris Laramie.
Again, Laramie coming from that free safety spot. He cut through. He did not make the tackle. You'll see Steve McDonald come over and pick him up on the block.
Hey, Greg!
Right here, there he
Greg!
comes. McDonald just gets to him in time before he can get to him, but it allowed the rest of the defense to catch up with the play and to give Laramie some credit for his pursuit.
No, they didn't bite on that fake to Clayton at all. 3rd and 12, big play here as we wind down the 3rd quarter. Rolling out is Voigt. Has time, now flushed, and he's going to go down. Leading the defensive charge, Dan Seek. His seek and destroy mission right there. And the sack will move the football back to the 26. And they're going to set up for a 43-yard field goal. But with 10 seconds remaining, don't know if they'll get it off.
Look at the end of this play, Dave. Count the blue shirts that are closing in on Voigt.
Yeah.
If you look at them, there are 7 guys right around the football as they were just swarming all over the top of Jeff Voigt. Hey, no chance of beating anybody deep that time. There was just too much pressure on the quarterback.
They take a timeout here with 2 seconds. Reason being, we have a very stiff wind driving towards the south, and they want to be able to kick this field goal with the aiding wind. Get a chance to see the replay. So they stop the clock with 2 seconds left. They want any advantage they can with a stiff wind with the kicker here on a kick that should set up to about 43 yards.
Especially looks like a little bit of rain starting to trickle down here as the 3rd quarter coming to a close.
The trickle-down effect here. With 2 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter in a 28-14 football game. And Deer Valley has played the tough D if you eliminate the 91-yard kickoff return and a couple of long passes. The really only long sustained drive was capped by the 19-yard touchdown by Clayton at 7:05 of the third quarter. So they'll mark it off. Wagner will hold. Globke will kick. An 80 win. The end of our third quarter. 43-yard attempt. He gets this one away. Plenty of leg on the football, and that kick is good.
43-yard field goal and a nice kick by Globke. 31-14, Horizon.
That'll end the third quarter as well. 31-14 is the count. And you figure that's another aspect of the football team that could put them in contention for some championships in 5A come mid-December. We played 3. It's 31-14 Horizon. Back with fourth quarter action in a moment.
Keep emergency phone numbers near your telephone at all times. Learn to dial emergency numbers, including the police, fire department, doctor, hospital, and poison control centers.
Question 3. What rules do we follow to keep our teeth healthy?
Oh, I remember. I brush my teeth in the morning and before bed and floss them every day. This fights the germs that cause tooth decay and gum disease. Keep those chompers looking awesome. Brush them twice a day and floss them. Yeah!
Final 12 minutes of our football game, a 31-14 as the rain comes down. Following that 43-yard kickoff, this kick goes somewhat less and out of bounds. Trying to keep it on the ground was Globke. He did. It hit once and kicked out of bounds, so they will take possession of the football on the procedure call.
Play at time. Let's go.
They'll set up at the 35-yard line following the out-of-bounds kick. Deer Valley trailing now 31-14. The game somewhat closer than those 17-point differential, Keith.
Well, the scoreboard, I guess that's the all-important marker that we have to look at. But, again, Deer Valley not that far out of this football game. They've played very well here this evening. A few mistakes on some big plays from the defensive end of things. But I guess you got to take everything into consideration. Let's see if they can convert something in this drive. They really need to establish themselves as a ground team. They're not going to be that great coming from behind.
Not able to go up top so far. But Sear is rolling out. Now he's going to tuck it under. He's at the 40, 45. At the 50-yard line, he is met head on by Rand Wagner. Play good for 15 yards and a first down.
Well, he does a great job. A little misdirection that time because, again, they're going to be keying on Phil Hayward. And you'll see as he comes out of the snap, they've tried this before a little bit. This time it's worked better than it has all night. Fakes to Hayward, bootlegs. Looked like he was looking for somebody to throw to, but then just tucks it under the shoulder pad, takes it underneath the right wing, and up he goes and does the old hook slide.
Time taken momentarily as the line was getting set, but one of the interior linemen didn't have his helmet on. Referee said, nope, can't do that. Get the equipment set and then set the offense. Load set back is Hayward. And he gets the quick handoff, and he'll be tripped up as he scoots through. Getting a hand in defensively was Ryan Wayne.
Give some credit there to 74 Nelson Jacob as well. Jacob with the big cast on the right hand. In fact, it looks like it may have been a thumb injury. But he was able to get that big club out there enough to click the heels together of Phil Hayward and bring him to a halt after a short game.
Laramie to the far side, Bell to the near side. The lone set back is Hayward behind quarterback Brandon Sear. Sear drops back, looks on the near side. His pass deflected and falls incomplete. Trying to go to his wideout here on the near side, Jacob Bell. Bell 5'9", 165-pound senior. As you see him there heading back to the huddle. And they'll set up now a third down and a long 5.
Well, really, the Huskies are challenging Brandon Sear to throw the football. The outside linebackers are joining the 4 down linemen right up on the line of scrimmage. And so they're putting 6 guys right up at the line of scrimmage and just daring them to throw over them. Now they move back on this third down play.
Hayward comes out of the lineup. In motion is Bell. Dropping straight back. Kirby to block for him. Sear looking for somebody. Now tucks it under, trying to head for that first down. He's got it. Gets the first down. in pursuit. Finally catching up to him. And now time taken. And they're going to bring on the chains here. Now I'm eyeballing it, giving them the first down.
Heck, Brandon Sear saying, what the heck here? I'm going to send all the receivers down the field, wait till the middle of the field clears out. I'm just going to tuck it and go again. And you saw him look around a little bit, trying to find out where that first down marker was. He knew where he had to get to. And he dives for it. And again, easily makes the first down. We could say that now that the chains are out
Football and a half. 10:38 remaining. 31-14 football game. Clock rewound. And Sear and the Skyhawks need some quick scores as he sends Laramie out to the far side. Full house backfield. Hayward is back in. He drops back, looks, throws, and this one is picked off in the secondary. Rand Wagner with the pick. He stepped out of bounds at the 22-yard line.
And for Wagner, his second interception of the night. And again, a nice job in staying home on the defensive side. You'll see that Brandon Sear, when he first drops back, he's going to look to his left. He's trying to throw the defense off, gave it a little bit of a pump fake, but then tried to come back to the intended receiver on the near side. And right there, Rand Wagner waiting. And he makes his second pickoff to go with 2 touchdown catches. And an excellent night for Rand Wagner.
Wagner somewhat in the shadows of the Clayton-Hayward matchup, but a big night. 10:13 remaining. Horizon now with a 17-point lead. You know they can keep it on the ground with the best of them. And we've double-checked that with 2:33. That's Jay Sitzman, a 6'1", 170-pound sophomore running back. So we apologize for that incorrection. We had 233s on the roster. Jay Sitzman, the sophomore, and he'll be getting some carries here. Also figuring that John Clayton was shaken up, heavily taped, and we don't see him in the backfield right now.
Well, they're trying to hit Tyree up the middle again, and with the clock counting down, the Huskies going to try to use the clock. They want to keep it on the ground if at all possible and grind it up the field and run the clock out. But they're going to be faced with a 3rd and long situation right here. And Deer Valley really needs to stuff this play in order to get the football back with some time remaining. They're 3 possessions away at this point. Even with 2-point conversions, if they would convert on 2 touchdowns, they would still need 3 possessions in order to take the lead in this football game.
That's why that field goal was so big with 9 minutes and counting coming up. This play will get underway under the 9-minute mark. High backfield on a 3rd and 5. Valley needs a stop. Back to pass on 3rd down. Throwing up the middle, and this one is tipped and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Chad Linnaeus. Somewhat surprising he went that far upfield with a 17-point advantage and trying to work the clock. So the clock stops on the incomplete, 8:45 left.
Well, they were working on the cornerback again. There you see him, number 82, Jacob Bell. He was beat twice for the long touchdown. And Bell back this time, I think he may have gotten a hand on it, although the receiver, Linnaeus, had gotten behind him once again.
Wrangle to kick it away. Cordova is back deep to receive. And getting the kick away, this is a wobbly kick over to the side. It'll hit and go out of bounds about the 40-yard line, and Deer Valley gets a break there as the lightning starts to crackle once again to the north. And they need lightning to strike right here.
Here's the 3rd quarter totals, and Horizon starting to catch up a bit as far as most of the numbers are concerned. 10 first downs to 6. Deer Valley still leads in that category, but the rushing yards starting to even out a little bit. Horizon getting close to the 100-yard mark as it's Deer Valley at 213 and Phil Hayward doing most of that. 141 to 16 in passing. Each team with a turnover. Well, I'll make that 2 for Deer Valley now because Rand Wagner has picked off a pair of passes. You know, as well as they've done some things here in the football game this evening, the punting game leaves a lot to be desired at this point for both ball clubs.
a glaring stat that really hasn't played a factor, although here it does give Deer Valley excellent field position. 38-yard line is where it's marked. They need to score quickly. Long count. They're waiting for a motion, and it's Laramie from the far side coming in motion. And they give the handoff and trying to turn it upfield. Still on his feet is Hayward. He's got 10, 12 yards. He was stopped for a gain of 4 and got 9 yards on great individual effort.
I tell you, that's just what you call desire, a running back. And you can't teach that. You don't teach that to kids. They've got it inside of them when they step onto the football field. And you'll see as Phil Hayward comes up the middle right here, he's spun around 360 degrees, and he goes right back at it, right up the middle. It takes 3 guys to bring him down.
Coming up on the 8-minute mark, first down as the Shades move to the 27-yard line. Lone set back again is Hayward. He's about 6 yards off the line of scrimmage behind his quarterback Sear. Gets the handoff, comes over left guard once again. This time he'll get 2 yards. Set up a second down and 8.
Well, the clock continues to tick down. Almost, it'll be under 7.5 minutes when this next play comes off.
Laramie and Bell, the starting unit wide receivers, check back into the lineup on this second down and 7. They'll call it a gain of 3. Sear up under center, the 6'2", 185-pound signal caller. Hayward 220 yards on the evening. This is set up for a screen pass, and that ball falls incomplete, and taking a hard hit on the far sideline is Josh Cohen.
Trevor Wild, number 32, the man that came through and made the hit on that play. And he kind of smelled that out. You saw the defensive lineman just coming through. They released and let him come in as some pressure was put on Sear, but hey, they're trying to set it up. And number 72 for Deer Valley, Doug Morrison, the offensive tackle, trying to get out there to lead the screen. He was just a little bit late. The pass fell incomplete anyway, but they need to get that lineman out there a little bit quicker so that he can provide that lead block to spring the screen.
3rd and 7. And a halfback option pass, going to throw it down there, and it falls incomplete. Mike Pudwell came around on the flanker reverse and held up. He was going to pass all the way.
Tell you, Jacob Bell had an opportunity right there because he had that time beaten Rand Wagner. Wagner had taken the flow of the play going to the left side of the field, and he was moving in that direction. Wagner was running with his back to the football trying to catch up with his man when the pass actually came in short. Now a hustle at this time trying to get Scott Dyke, the offensive lineman, on for the field goal unit.
Left-footed kicker Matt Frick out of the hold of Pudwell. And the kick is up, and a line drive kick, and it is no good, wide to the right. With 7:01 remaining in the football game, 42-yarder, not good.
They executed this play pretty well right up until the time that Pudwell had to get rid of the football. Draws it back and throws it. It just comes up short. You'll see it to the right of your screen, diving back and trying to make the catch on the play was Jacob Bell. Maybe we can see it from this angle. Oh, he slipped just a bit when he went to release the football. But even out to the right of the screen on that one was Rand Wagner trying to get back defensively. And had the ball just gone about 3 yards further, there would have been an opportunity for Bell to come back and make the catch.
Horizon, after the mixed field goal, takes over at the 20-yard line. And the ball fumbled inside, loose on the turf, and we'll see who came up with it. It appears that Horizon did.
Well, I don't think maybe the ball, I'm not sure the ball ever hit the ground. Coming out of there, Sitzman took the handoff, and he juggled it in his arms. But I'm not sure if it ever came all the way out and hit the turf. For the Huskies, they're just glad that they've still got the football and the clock still running with 6.5 minutes to play.
There you see Voigt's aerial attack, a couple of touchdowns to Rand Wagner. And this time a handoff comes to Wagner. Wagner's still on his feet out near the 30-yard line, but short. It'll set up a 3rd down and 3 situation. And it'll give him a little bit of forward progress to the 28. 3rd and 2. Coming up on the 6-minute mark.
Josh Cohen in pursuit, coming over to make the tackle on that play. Here it is, a little misdirection this time. Reverse coming around. as Rand Wagner showing that he can run the football a bit as well as catch it. 3rd and short, big play now for Deer Valley.
5:45 and counting. 3rd down and 2. Clayton getting just a couple of plays here in the second half, and getting first down yardage is the fullback Tyree. 5'10", 205-pound junior. Get a chance to see some of the breeze blowing here on a very cool night.
I don't know if I want to call that a breeze.
Now you see the reason why the Huskies called timeout with 2 seconds left in that 3rd quarter, to give their kicker, Globke, the opportunity to kick with the wind, and he nailed a 43-yarder. 31-14. Rising up by 17 points. Number 1 team in 5A football. 1st and 10 situation. Hand up through the middle, and there's Tyree once again pounding his way out, this time to the 45-yard line. 12 yards and another first down. And they are showing weapon after weapon here, Keith. This is a team to be reckoned with come playoff time this week.
I tell you, right here, you're going to look at what this guy could make the John Madden team. Watch Brooks Tyree as he comes up. Here comes the cornerback saying, there, go backwards a little bit as he lunges forward and gets up to the 45-yard line.
That play moves the chains. 1st and 10, 4:53 remaining. Horizon very happy to keep it on the ground here and eat up the clock with a 17-point advantage. Hand off once again, and boy, still dragging tacklers with them. Another 12-yard pickup.
Well, the Skyhawks, they're having one guy hold on, but they're also starting to try to tackle the football.
Yeah.
By saying that, I mean they're trying to reach in and see if they can snatch it away at any time. But this guy, hey, he's got the physical body. He can take the pounding, and he's going to hang on to that football as well. You just see as he muscles through everybody, and you see reaching in right there is Chris Laramie trying to wrench the ball away from him. But
Laramie had him about midfield. He took 7 yards there while they were trying to wrestle the football. Maybe something will happen late in the football game. Tyree up at the 76-yard mark. And keeping the football this time is Boyd. Tiptoes down the 40, inside the 40, gets down to the 38-yard line. He'll pick up 5 yards on the quarterback keeper. 4:10 and counting. And they're able to keep the ball, very content to keep it on the ground. Use up the clock. Bob Kirby shaken up on the defensive side. He'll come out. Andre Dukeshire comes in.
Well, you saw the brute force. Now here's a little bit of the finesse. As Jeff Boyd going to take it and kind of, as you said, tiptoe his way around the left side.
Second and 6, they'll call it. Ball spotted at the 39-yard line. Inside handoff this time goes to Rand Wagner. Wagner will be stopped for little or no gain. .325 and counting. I don't know if they sold football tickets or lift tickets tonight. It's cold out here. They'll take all the time they need in that huddle. They're getting their snaps off with just 1 or 2 seconds remaining on the play clock, and now they will ask for time on a 3rd and 6 situation, leading by 17 with 3:09 remaining. Horizon asks for a timeout. Sets up some interesting possibilities when you look towards playoffs. Of course, the Mesas, the Mountain Views, but somebody'd like to keep it up in Northwest Phoenix, Horizon, or maybe even these Deer Valley teams. 31-14, 3:09 left.
If you always buckle your safety belt, you've made a smart move. If you sometimes or never buckle up, you're risking your life. In a car, your best protection against getting hurt is a safety belt. It's true, safety belts save lives. The coolest kids buckle up. So do astronauts, jet pilots, and race car drivers. Did you know there are 206 bones in your body? So be kind to your bones and buckle up.
The final 3 minutes and 9 seconds of tonight's football game. Horizon up 31-14. Dave Eddy with Keith Baker to bring you the play-by-play on Glendale City Cable, Channel 11 Sports. Excellent camera coverage tonight as you get a shot of Phil Hayward, 6 foot, 175-pound junior running back, leading rusher in 5A football, and he's done nothing to discourage that here tonight. Over the 200-yard mark, including a 91-yard scamper on the opening play from scrimmage gave Deer Valley a 7-0 lead. Now it's 31-14 Horizon on a 3rd down and 6. Dropping back and getting sacked is the quarterback, Voigt. As the defense rose to the occasion that time.
I'll tell you, the most disappointed guy in the stadium on that play was Rand Wagner. He had just run a straight sprint up the left sideline, and there was nobody within 40 yards of him. But unfortunately, Jeff Voigt just had no time in which to deliver the football. Everybody coming on that one. And it brings up a 4th down. One stat I was just looking at, I was trying to find out Deer Valley's yardage in the second half. And it's not so much that their offense has been stymied that much, although they have been stuffed a little bit. But the Huskies have just had the football most of the second half. But Deer Valley only 52 total offensive yards here in the second half.
And now Deer Valley has to call a timeout. You see Budwill, he got back late. Interior linemen were late getting on the field. And finally, confusion reigned, and Deer Valley has to take a timeout. 2:24 remaining, and they certainly don't want to have to burn one here, trailing by 17. They need some quick scores, needed that complement of timeouts, and they're going to burn one here to set up a punt return.
Well, there's a few people already starting to head to the Axis with 2:24 to play in this one, and the Huskies comfortably ahead at 31-14. Here's a total yards. The Huskies 141 through the air, 135 on the ground. Nice balance there. The Skyhawks, look at the Skyhawks, only 16 yards in passing, 248 yards on the ground, and over 200 yards alone for Phil Hayward.
And of course, one stat that doesn't show there, the return yardage, that 91-yard kickoff scamper by Clayton, good for 7 points.
Now looks like we got a new punter in there this time for the Huskies. Well, no, that's still Eric Rangel back there. So.
Cordova is back deep to receive the kick, and Cordova will not be able to field it. It was a short kick and hits one of the pursuing linemen for Horizon about the 24-yard line. Hey, but that's where they'll take over with 2:15 remaining.
We got to look at a comparative standpoint right here, Dave. That was a boomer.
Into a driving wind. We have to remember that.
That's true. He hit that one as well as we've had one hit tonight from punting situation. So give him some credit for knocking the Skyhawks back inside their own 30-yard line.
Clock winds. Offense getting set as Sear coming into the huddle. Chris Laramie, you see him, number 7. Bob Kirby coming into the huddle a little bit late. Cordova flanked out to the near side. Bell on the near side as well. Laramie to the far side. 4 wide receivers. Kirby the lone setback. Dropping back, hit as he throws. Pass falls incomplete. The defense was pouring in that time. Mike Milano, 6'3", 210-pound junior, leading the charge.
I think Milano knows that Brandon Sear wears the number 1 because he had his face mask right into the chest of Brandon Sear on that play. Watch him as he comes through like there's nobody even close to him. And a nice hit. Good defensive play.
Reserve wideouts coming in. Matt Edelbeck, who has also played defensively tonight for Deer Valley, done a nice job. He'll come in. Edelbeck goes 6'4". Out to the near side is Bell. Laramie to the far side. Kirby the lone setback. Sear drops back. Now being flushed out. Throws on the sideline. Has his receiver come back. A nice attempt that time to come back to the football by Jacob Bell.
Jacob Bell ran a good route that time. He got down the field. He was going towards the first down marker, but when he turned, he saw his quarterback in trouble. And when he did that, he came back to help out. And in doing so, he came back far enough to be able to catch the pass and get out of bounds.
Ryan Wing putting pressure on Sear. A nice comeback there. And gets out of bounds wisely to stop the clock. 1:45 left. A 31-14 football game. Deer Valley would like to get on the board.
And a quarterback change, Dave. That looks like Deer Valley saying, well, minute 45 to go, not much left to do here, and a fumble.
Steve Schuchsta, a 6'4", 210-pound, doubles as actually triples as a tight end, defensive lineman, and some backup QB work. They retain possession. But they're just showing them a little bit of everything here.
When was the last time you saw a quarterback wearing number 85?
They're just running players in and out. It's 4th down now, of course. But when you're behind by this much, kind of surprised they don't go for it. We may see a fake before it's over. Boy, they are coming. And a good kick. That's the best kick of the night. That'll drive Wagner back, and he finally loses the football. It is loose on the turf, and coming up with it is Deer Valley.
Well, the wind certainly helped that time, and it did get over the head of Rand Wagner, and probably for Wagner the only muff that he has had in this ball game here tonight, as he has played a brilliant football game for the Huskies. But that one just got back over his head. It may have been wise for him just to let that one go and see where it ended up bouncing.
42-yard boot.
Tries to make
Actually
the over the shoulder type catch there. And Shooksta in there, quarterback again.
Clock on the move, 45 seconds. He'll drop back, throws an out pass. It's incomplete. Trying to go to the wide out, Chris Laramie. The senior, 6'4", 210-pounder. You look over this Horizon team as we head into playoff football. Voigt and Clayton, juniors.
They're kind of giving a little backslapping going on. Reagan Rogers, number 73, 5'11", 230. He got double teamed on that last pass play, and two Deer Valley Skyhawks right on top of him as the play came to a close. So his teammates trying to pick him up a little bit. Picked off.
Thrown on the near side.
Chad Brown. The third interception of the football game for the Huskies, as they have picked off a trio tonight. And with 38 seconds to go, that'll put the lid on this one, as now quite a few of the Deer Valley faithful start to rise to their feet and shuffle towards the exits.
Horizon will finish 10-0 on the regular season, move into postseason play, as will Deer Valley, a record of 7-3. The region championship goes to Horizon as well, and Horizon certainly a force to be reckoned with come playoff time as we head into it. And they'll just take a knee here.
And that should do it.
And Horizon happy to sit on the football and wind down the final 10 seconds of football here in the regular season for 5A play on a blustery cold night at Deer Valley. Horizon comes in, was certainly challenged for 2.5 quarters of this football game, but then pulled away to win the game 31-40.